right? They become living entities. And so I liken the police and military to be like spirits, And so I think that there are people who become police officers or to go into, military, into these spaces really believing that they are doing something, that they are changing something, that they're doing something good. But because the police and any militarized fashions that have to keep the illusions of power, which is really control over groups of people by the way of guns, that big spirit starts to infiltrate even those people that come in wanting to make a difference or believing that they make a difference. And so that good thing, that good nature becomes corrupted. And so then they're no longer us. They're no longer the collective. They're no longer a part of humanity. They become almost like, I would liken it to AI. Like the body becomes overridden and they become then a smaller fraction of this larger spirit carrying out law and order. And so I think what happens, and I as this so-called world plunges deeper into chaos, all by design, I think that these now people who are heavily militarized and with guns, especially people who are very much active inside, still operating and active inside of what is happening in the government, and you put it under the guise of, I'm doing my job, I'm just doing my job. At some point, that I'm doing my job should go out the window, and you become it. You become the oppressor. You become responsible for what you carry out because you're cognitive of what it is that you're carrying out. And so the people that you used to look at as community, they now become an enemy. And so carrying out violence on the community becomes easier because you're no longer that. You're not the community anymore, right? You're now the spirit. You're now that. You're that. And so I think that's how it happens. I believe that's really how civil war happens, because there is no more government. And anybody who believes that there is still a government, I was just talking to my sister. We was just talking about delusion earlier, and we all love a little bit of delusion, but for you to still believe that this is an operating government that you have control under, you are deluded. And I don't know that is a delusion that you come back from. I think it's overridden the body. You become crystallized in that experience. And so there is no more government. There really is only the people, for the people. And when we look at those movies where the government becomes this totalitarian beast that the people no longer have control over, and those small infractions start, I understand how they start. The people in power, I think that their power dwindles. It's just their influence that they have left. And then what's left is the people carrying out the orders. under the guise of, I'm doing my job. And then the blood is no longer on the people in power. It's now passed to the people. It's unfortunate because you really do have to be more leery of the community that you walk among than the governing officials that govern us. Because it's the people that choose, that decide to carry on and to exist on, and the foolishness, even when they know it's foolish. That's how people can carry on with their day-to-day. Even in the midst of what we see happening around us, some people willingly turning blind eyes to it because I can't face it, because you face it every day and you get that too. But when we look back at this, nobody is going to be able to say that they were confused as to how it happened. The same way the elders and the people that came before us cannot say that they were confused at what was happening. Maybe they were confused, some of them. I remember when Shirley Chisholm came to me, and she said that the elders are afraid. The people that came before us, they're afraid to say we got it wrong. They're afraid to say that we fucked up. And because the elders and the people that came before us won't say that we got it wrong, that we fucked up, we went the wrong way, we went in the wrong direction, they'll continue to, I'm going to use voting for an example, because that's the only power that unfortunately people feel like they have. The elders will continue to vote themselves into demise, even though they won't be here to exist in the realities that they vote in. Their children's children will, and their children's children will. But nobody gives a fuck until the rabbit gets the gun. The rabbit is going to get the gun. And when the rabbit gets the gun, there is no have a conscience. We're battling people with no conscience.